I'm playing against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Isaac is a typical 18-year-old.
I created a play. He's a 7'1" center.
He loves sports. He loves to play video games.
He's had a very good school year, and sickle cell anemia haven't had him out of school much this school year.
First memory of sickle cell disease, I want to say preschool.
So at birth he was tested through a blood test, and we were told that he had the sickle cell anemia. I was fearful and at that point, and so at that point his dad and I, our only option was, accept that Isaac had sickle cell disease and learn as much about the disease as we can.
Sickle cell disease is an inherited blood disease, which means that children have it from birth throughout their entire life. The problem with the red blood cells is that the hemoglobin, which carries oxygen to the body, is abnormal. This abnormal hemoglobin is a little bit less effective at carrying oxygen, but it also causes the red blood cells to take an abnormal shape called a sickle cell. And the most common problem with sickle cell disease is pain. The pain is caused by the abnormally shaped sickle cells blocking blood vessels. That causes those tissues to be deprived of oxygen.
It can happen out of nowhere. Like, sometimes it'll be I'll be asleep and I wake up from a nap or something and my stomach is hurting or my legs or my head.
Any organ in the body can be affected by sickle cell disease, and that can cause things like strokes, liver problems, kidney failure in adults, pulmonary problems like pneumonia and pulmonary hypertension.
Then at 18 months, we noticed Isaac wasn't walking normal, so we called his pediatrician, and after further testing, found out that Isaac had experienced a stroke.
When a child with sickle cell disease has had a stroke, their chances of having another stroke are at least 60 to 75%. That risk is so high that we then go on to prescribe chronic blood transfusion therapy. The goal of that is to suppress the body from making as many sickle cells as it would naturally.
Hello.
Hi. How you guys doing?
I'm fine. I receive a pheresis treatment every 4 weeks.
So pheresis is also known as erythrocytopheresis. That is a method of blood transfusion. It allows us to control the amount of sickle blood cells that the patient has a lot more closely. It allows him to come for a transfusion less frequently, and it also reduces the amount of iron overload that patients may end up with.
And it has been very successful. He hasn't had another stroke since his initial one.
When you think you're going to go home? Soon? The disease predominantly affects African Americans. However, it can also be found in Latino populations as well as small pockets of sickle cell disease in India, Greece, and southern Italy.
Report feels different.
Isaac's family has been extremely diligent about his medical care, and I think that he's doing very well because of that support and that example that he's had from his parents.
We're a team, and if he's not feeling well, we work together to find out what the discomfort is and try and solve it with medicine as soon as possible. And then Isaac has a number of doctors at Children's Hospital. Whenever we need some information or advice, we call them, and that's really been great. This doctor's great. They've been doing a great job from day one.
Well, I'm in the process of graduating from Metro High School in St. Louis. Entering St. Louis University in the fall.
I've narrowed it down to either political science or biology.
I want him to be happy, I want him to find a career that he enjoys. I want him to have good friends and family around him at all times, and I want him to stay healthy, to recognize that he does have sickle cell anemia, but don't let it limit him.
Don't give up. It's going to be a fight, but if you give up, you have no chance. You want to make it to the end, make it to the finish line. And that's what I'm striving to do.